Now, I'm wondering, anyone actually know about this specific anime? If you do, you're Latino or found a Latino YouTuber who probably is talking about in Spanish or whatever Spanish version you speak of Latin America, because this thing maybe become a big hit in the near future. Yeah, I'm not overhyping it. This could be the next Attack on Titan, the next DBZ, the next whatever hype anime you believe is the greatest thing of all time. The next solo leveling, in other words. The reason why I'm overhyping and so exciting, this is a anime called Pokamaka and Pokinuni. I know I mispronounced it, but it's sort of translated to the awakening of the gods. And I do apologize again, I miss sort of translating that in their own language. But although that this anime is sort of being talked about in a Latino community animation, because every time you hear anything animation in Latin America, it's about to be hyped because it's super rare do we have a cartoon in Latin America, because even that we have sort of like a phrase in Latin America, like doesn't matter which country you live in Latin America, it's almost why bother, because there is no business in animation, or nobody cares, or nobody trusts someone to make a project of animation because it's cheaper to buy animation for the outside world, like Japan, China, or America. Let the gringos do the work and we just buy it from them. That's sort of the mindset of all Latin American business people and animation nerds of Latin America. But the Waking of the Gods kind of says no. We can make something amazing. We can make something beautiful. And Waking of the Gods is that important because they want you to establish we can make something beautiful. The whole point of this project is to reawaken the business of animation in Latin America. That is the main goal. Now I have to stop here for a second because I have to introduce myself. My name is Rachel. I like to talk about animation, not just animation reviews, first impressions, cartoon theories, and sometimes, if I have some spare time, cartoon breaking news. Of course, you like how it's going and like to help my channel, pull a like, comment, and subscribe. That's the only thing you need to do. If not, that's fine. We do. Thank you. Because of you, I'm getting close on the main goal of 2,000 subscribers. And yes, I'm getting close every single day because of people like you. People who like, comment, and share. Now let's start off this conversation of the waking of the gods. Now, a lot of cartoon or anime fans are falling in love with this project, even that it's a 4-minute trailer, and that's all really is, just to show how talented and interesting this project could be. They all count on the main creator, Normana Vallejo, that the creator of Waking of the Gods, hey, let us pay you. Let us have a Patreon so we give you money to do this project properly. Just go indie. Because if you do go mainstream, you'll be screwed over like Villainous. Like Alan, the creator of Villainous, he attempted to do the same thing. It was successful. Everybody loved it. But somehow, some way, you got screwed over by the business kind of politics, in other words. And this is the reason why they started to go indie, because it's not worth it. At least a small experiment. Hopefully, the list get picked up again and just go indie. Hopefully, that works. And this is what people love pointing out. Don't go mainstream. It's not worth it. And the guy who created the series says, no, that's the whole point of this project. I want to make it mainstream. I want to reawaken the business assets of Latin America. We can do this. You just need patience and hope and a lot of people interest, because that is one of the main goals, to reawaken the business, sort of a tribute to animation, but also prove people can actually make merch, because the business people, the only thing they care is to make merch of the IP. This is the reason why My Hero Academia was so successful, because they could sell the merch. This is the reason why My Hero Academia had only one season. 3 or 4 years later, they got a season 2, not because they didn't have enough material, because it wasn't successful enough. It wasn't people interested enough of My Hero Academia till they give it a second chance and it blew up because people wanted this so much, but it took some time to get the right people who like this to give the money to them. Like this is the problem. This is the animation problem of everywhere, especially in Latin America. Now, what kind of gods? What is it? What could be interesting? Well, it's sort of a normal sort of jump sort of idea, but doing Peruvian sort of lore in country because this thing is 100% Peruvian but done instead of like an anime twist. Basically, the whole story that you found a few kids who accidentally meet different gods, and they're now helping the gods to figure out what's going on, why we are awake, why do we exist right now? We should be technically dead. And they just don't understand it, especially all the supernatural gods beings around them and that's the sort of the mystery. They started starting a new war, but they don't understand why. And this whole anime is just feels like a cliche, but done so beautifully, so interesting because the Peruvian sort of kind of mythos and history of the Indian culture of that specific country, it feels so unique and refreshing because everything you see of this 4 minute sort of clip of this Peruvian anime is all pure Peruvian. The art style, the clothes, the dialogue, the language, the culture, even the landmarks they walk, even to the sort of flea market, it feels from that specific area. Some of you are saying, does it matter? Because other anime do this? Yes, but the only problem is only once of a millennium they do that in Japan. Usually they don't care. They want just to entertain. But because of this is the reason why they don't really pay attention of the culture. Like one of the big example, every time they do pay attention to the culture in anime, not theirs, someone else, they focus on the clothes, how they move, how the color serve their own skin, even the food, especially the food. And this is exactly like this because it's Peruvian, done with people who live in that country. In fact, the creator of this project technically left to Japan to understand animation, so he'll go back and does it himself because he was tired of not making any animation of his own state, his own country. Top of this, to help other country members on Latin America, if I can do it, you can do it. But the goal is you can just sell merch. That's the second goal of it. Especially how much work and information they put of this 4 minute little project. Because the project it looks incredible. In fact, you follow at least one of the characters is this sort of 4 minute sort of teaser trailer called Sisa on the human character with Nina, who is the god of fire, who doesn't really remember who she is and why she like this. She knows maybe she's a god, but didn't go that much dialogue because they quite literally introducing the whole idea of this 4 minutes cut in pieces of other episodes they attempted to do. In fact, the creator this state this is probably 2 episodes in total just to show off how many people are interested and also a company can pick this up to make it a official streaming service show and that's the whole point. Now the story just followed Nina understanding who is this character, what's going on, and you meet other god and human partners that are completely different of the two main leads, and also other different gods. Because there are a lot of things they show. Like there's one that I don't remember what's supposed to call this sort of demon llama. If you've seen this demon llama, if you know the basic origins, basically it's a human slash llama mixed together becoming this demon llama. And believe me, you don't want to know how that happened. It is quite disturbing. This is the reason why I've been very vague. Look it up yourself. And believe me, you'll be a little disgusted, but you understand why this became sort of a legend, a myth, this sort of creature. But once again, you don't much know the story. You know it's pretty basic. Everybody gotta fight together, figure out what's going on, and save the world. A very basic plot synopsis. But in making it different is the fact it feels different because of the culture, the food, the knowledge, the reason why the god forgotten, the reason why I have to fight, and the reason why Christian God reappears in this anime. 100% sure they sort of explain what happened to the gods and the creations, what they did to it. And it's kind of dark, but depends how they gotta approach this. This could easily piss off the Christians or not. Maybe they gotta dance around it. Honestly, I don't know. Especially, I don't know enough Peruvian myth and what happened to them with the Spaniards and the Christians who maybe invade them. I'm not sure. I'm not very deep in that Pacific history with Peruvians. You could explain down below, but you get the idea. This thing looks incredible, especially how the animation is so smooth. It's something that's just amazing. Some of you are just wondering, okay, why is that so amazing? Because a lot in America, every time they're trying to do anime, it feels kind of cheap. It feels 2000s teach myself how to do anime, and this doesn't. This is complete doesn't feel nothing like that. It feels very traditional Japanese anime. Even that, none of them are Japanese. They're Peruvian. They're the ones who went to Japan and come back to do this anime. This is the reason why a lot of people were completely excited. It feels so honest and true about their own culture. Even the voices, all the Latino voices lend this voice. They feel that Pacific country and very Pacific part of the country they live in it. And that's what it feels so believably honest and truth. But once more, we don't know that it will be successful or not. It could be hit depends on the first two episodes. If it is a hit, they're not going to end it. If they have to wait if someone buy the rights and they decide to do one complete season. If they do, I know how business works. This usually they do one season, depends on them. They do one season, cut in half, one half in season one, the other half season two. Basically, season one A, season one B. In other words, and that's how usually it works because it's cheaper, more easier to produce, and to see if they can sell merch. Hopefully they do. Hopefully it's successful. Hopefully this could be great because this is not the first time. Even that it is this successful, you need more than one project. You need multiple projects. You need other Latin American companies to invest at least two more or three more to prove this idea is completely worth it. Because if one is successful, it just leaves the door open, but never fully open. It's like, may we invest another project, but we don't know. And that's sort of the issue. This case, they go away a couple years, be forgotten, even was successful, like Villainous. Like Villainous was super successful, but the company didn't know what to do with it. It just got screwed over by business politics and never came back. Till they decided to do a spin-off series, just to understand how difficult this is. Even you're successful, doesn't mean you get a season two. Doesn't mean you get merch to sell, even is successful. Because animation is just sort of super risky, especially if you're part of a country they don't want to risk because they don't have enough money to risk. So yeah, this is a long shot, another long shot in other words. But hopefully it works, especially how smooth and great the animation, because the animation is look believably real. Like, I understand one of the important thing of animation is the light. What I mean is how the light put of the characters give that sort of realism, giving that sort of weight, especially how they do punches. You feel this is professional, and this is the reason why it looks great. Doesn't look cheap. Doesn't look. I think how this anime works. No, this is feel honestly high production, and I hope it's successful. Hopefully it's good. Hopefully I convince some of you to at least watch the 4-minute trailer If I can, if I do remember, please call me out. If I don't remember, put the link on this channel to connect to the original channel, because it is sort of Peruvian language. It's probably difficult to find if you don't speak the language or don't know how to spell it. So I'm gonna try to remember putting a link down below. If I don't, please call me out down below. Say, hey, Richard, you forgot to put the link down below. And I put it anyway. You get the idea. I usually forget. But other than that, this thing looks great. That's all I can say. I don't know you. Hopefully this changed the game. Hopefully this awakeness of animation in Latin America. I got nothing else to say. Just thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and have a wonderful day. Bye.